Howdy folks, Jim back with you. It's been a couple weeks since I've been on. Reason being, deer season was in, rifle season. I had to go do a little hunting. Had to go do a little Thanksgiving eating. I got this right here, but I gotta fess up to you. I didn't kill it. I found it, and I cut his horns off. Nice little 7-pointer. I'd have liked to got it, but oh well. Title of this video, and I just want to try to keep it short and sweet with you. Beautiful day here in December, by the way. My goodness, I had to take my coat off, my hoodie off, and man, lovely, beautiful day. You see the title of this video, pre-trib, mid-trib, or post-trib. That seems to be the going question around, and with the state of the world, everything that's going on, boy, everybody is, they look at all these, they call them the signs of the times, and they thinking, you know, which is it, pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib? They ask the question, when is the tribulation, the great tribulation, going to start? Question ought to be, when is the tribulation going to end? There's a question for you. I want to give you a couple of scriptures right here, because that's why we come on here, a little short shoot, you know, coming right at you. I'm going to go here to Matthew 24. My Bible says signs of the end of the age. Always when you're reading scriptures, you got to stay in context. You get out of context, you're not even in the ballpark. Okay, here's the context here. I want to show you something. Yeah, it's true. Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? So here they are, they're looking at the temple. Jesus tells his disciples, look at these buildings. Look at these things. Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So Jesus got his disciples with him. They're looking at the temple, and Jesus says there shall not be one stone of what? That temple he's looking at that shall be left, but they'll all be thrown down. Now, we're talking, you know, people are wondering about pre-trib, post-trib, mid-trib, all this other stuff. Listen to what he says right here. And you can go through every verse in the New Testament, and you'll never see tribulation mentioned with 7 years anywhere in the Bible. And most of the times, the tribulation is mentioned for his church, for his people, okay? Well, let me show you something here. So he starts, I've started reading right there. I just wanted to show you, I can't read all this because I'm trying to keep it short and simple, you know. When you therefore see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Now remember, Jesus and them's looking at the temple. Disciples are right here. He's teaching them. They're all looking at the temple. When you see that desolation, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field turn back to take his clothes. Woe to them that are with child. And it goes on down. Verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation. There it is, great tribulation, Matthew 24. Now remember, he's got his disciples. They're looking at the temple. He's teaching them, not one stone will be left unturned of that temple they were looking at. And then shall be great tribulation, such as one was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Now Jesus said that, and if you can see that, that's in red letter. I'm trying to hurry here. Okay, let me keep on reading. I'm going to skip down to verse 27 because it's just all this other stuff. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth into the west, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man be. Whosoever, or for wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened. Of those days, what days? Those days when there won't be one stone left unturned. The abomination of desolation is set up in the temple. The sun will be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, the stars shall fall from heaven, the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. They shall see the Son of Man coming in clouds of heaven with power and great glory. He shall send his angels with great sound of trumpet. I'm keeping in context here. They shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When its branch is yet tender and putteth forth his leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when you see these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Did you hear that? Here he is looking at the temple. He's got his disciples right there. He says, not one stone of that temple will be left. Abomination and desolation will be setting up in that place. The whole thing is going down, great tribulation, and he tells the disciples, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels in heaven, but my Father only. What days are we talking about? The days when the temple is going to be torn down and not one stone is going to be left upon another. We got to stay in context. Great tribulation. What was happening? The old Jewish system, which consisted of the law, the priesthood, the sacrifices, the tabernacle, was going to be thrown down. It was going to, and it happened in 70 AD. That's the tribulation that he's talking about. Now, John, in the book of Revelation, John chapter 1, verse 9 says, I'm your brother and companion in the kingdom and in tribulation. In the kingdom and in tribulation. It's the Lord doesn't, because see, that's where this rapture stuff comes in, you know, oh, we don't want to be in tribulation. Let me tell you something. God is not delivering us from tribulation. He delivers us through tribulation. Paul says in Romans, we glory in tribulation, for tribulation worketh patience. What is tribulation? Tribulation is pressure. It's the heat that gets the dross out of the gold. He's wanting to bring about full, mature sons and daughters of God. And that is only done. Jesus was made perfect through suffering. We're made perfect through suffering. Jesus said, in this world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. People worry about the big bad wolf, you know, the great tribulation, they say. They put this fear on everybody. Let me tell you something. When here is Daniel, they're in a foreign country, they've been swept away in captivity. Daniel's a praying man, he's a man of God, and what happens? He gets thrown into the lion's den. Did God rescue him from the lion's den? No, he did not. Daniel went into the lion's den. But guess what? Who made the lions? Yeah, our Creator, our Father, Daniel's father, made the lions. And what happened out of that? The kingdom of God was magnified throughout Babylon. So, here's my point. We go through tribulation. We go through it. But I want you to know this, you are never alone. Look at what Paul and them went through. He sang the glories of God in the Philippian jail. Christ never leaves you. He never forsakes you. And it is through his strength that we can do all things. So tribulation, it happens. If you don't believe me, have kids. Yeah, there's a good one for you. And remember, this deer, let me tell you where I found this deer. He jumped off the bridge. Yeah, there's a highway bridge right up the road here, and he got caught on that bridge. He jumped off the bridge and fell down on the railroad tracks, and there he was. That's all that's left of him. Nice 7-pointer. He had some great tribulation, and this is what's left. Anyway, think about that. This generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. God bless you. Think about that.